Okay, Nate, exposure therapy for OCD seems to be the best option. I get ya, but I can't do it. I mean, my fear actually can come true. This is such a common misconception. And I'm gonna show you how to do exposures even if your fear could actually come true. For some, their fear is illogical and not even possible. Something like, I'm gonna get high by watching somebody on TV get high. No, doesn't work that way. But if this isn't your fear, you're probably looking at this and you're like, well, duh. That doesn't make sense.
Is that a joke? Tell me you're joking.
But for this person, it may feel so dangerous and so risky. Exposures should seem simple, but they're just not. They can feel so difficult for this person. So for you, whose fear could actually come true, would you risk facing it? Because guess what? You actually don't have a choice. And here's what I mean. I find that individuals spend so much time avoiding triggers or the fear that it ends up taking so much control out of their life, in so much that they're just not living. Like, what's the point? Here's an example. So meet Sarah. She's a 28-year-old woman who lives in a really sunny coastal town. Coastal town? I don't know why, but she lives there. She has always been afraid of getting skin cancer. She's seen friends and family members go through these cancer scares in the past. They've gone through treatments, and it terrifies her. So Sarah decides to take every precaution possible to avoid any sun exposure. Every morning, Sarah wakes up, she covers herself from head to toe with SPF 100 sunscreen. Does that exist? She wears long sleeve shirts, long pants, and a wide brimmed hat. Sarah's fear has led her to avoid outdoor activities. I mean, she loves doing those things. She used to enjoy picnics, beaches, outings, hiking, but now she can't even bear the thought of exposing herself to any harmful sun rays. Her social life has dwindled. She's declined many invitations to go out and do things. And right now her friends have completely stopped inviting her. She's lonely, but the thought of being in the sun terrifies her more than the loneliness. She checks her skin for any new moles or discolorations multiple times a day. Okay, so if you look at this story, like, do you feel like she's happy? Trying to make sure that this catastrophe, this thing that actually could happen, doesn't happen. And even if she took all these precautions, doesn't mean it's not actually going to happen in the future. She is not currently living life, which is what we want to do. So while this fear is possible, I don't think our life is defined on avoiding possible problems and not enjoying the present moment. Like, come on, that's not really how it goes. So here's how we actually do exposures for these kind of threats, those things that could actually happen. Guess what I'd probably have Sarah do? I would have her live her life, go hiking, hang out with her friends, do all the things she normally would do. I would ask questions like, do you normally wear sunscreen all day long? Do you normally go on hikes? Would you normally check your moles multiple times a day? Do you want to hang out with your friends? Do you even like wearing hats? We start developing a life plan. What does life actually look like? People automatically think that exposures mean this person needs to go out suntanning every single day for hours. That's how they get over it. No, it's always these extreme things that keep people stuck. But really, this is what it looks like. They would need to risk getting skin cancer by walking outside in the sun. Simple enough. Each scenario is going to be different for each person. I'm going to go to school and I'm going to walk there. I'm going to evaluate. Do I normally put sunscreen on? No, so I'm not going to. But if I'm going to the beach and I'm going to be there all day, I normally would. So guess what I'm going to do? Put sunscreen on.
Are you wearing sunscreen?
When it's a no-brainer, we have no reason to question it. But we shouldn't have to question it. We might specifically set guidelines on when sunscreen can be worn, when somebody can avoid the sun, when somebody can actually check that mole again. Then we get to work. The exposures might be like this. Walking down the street, middle of the day, the sun is shining down on them. And they're using various responses like, I may or may not get skin cancer. I may or may not be risking my entire future. Skin cancer might be part of my life. It might even take my life. Sounds absolutely horrible to say. But here's the thing. If you remember, these exposures are actually just you living the life that you want to live. So all the things that people are avoiding to make sure the thing doesn't happen, what do you normally do? Let's do that. We don't even need to do the extreme things. Because really what it all comes down to is, can I live my life according to what makes me happy, and I get to follow my values? This might actually be a sunburn every once in a while.
Don't yell at me, I'm very sunburned.
I'm not gonna go get a sunburn on purpose, but life happens. And every time I have a thought that says, skin cancer, we're leaving it uncertain. Anything is possible. We're not sure. Thanks for the thought. Cool. great, awesome, totally, that's wonderful. And if the fear actually comes true, we get to problem solve something. So as I mentioned earlier, we can live in fear and protect, not live life, or we can actually live life and these things are risked. Because what it all comes down to is that if the catastrophe happened, we couldn't pinpoint it. Oh, it was that one time 30 years ago I did not wear sunscreen, I didn't have that hat. No, we look back and look at all the fun times that we had, all the wonderful moments. I'm using this example of skin cancer, but individuals can apply this to many things. The loss of a job, a relationship, legal issues, really anything. This contaminant in my life may cause this thing to happen in the future. Because what I often find is these examples that I give, there's people in the comments, okay, well that's cool. Like, remember mine's different? Like I could get this disease or this could happen to me, or what if I actually turned into this or whatever. It's the same thing. Let's live life the way you want to live your life. Here's a cool thing you can do. Maybe you take a moment, you write down what life looks like if you didn't have OCD or anxiety. If I didn't have this fear, would I be checking my email 100 times a day? Would I be checking these moles? No, I probably wouldn't. So guess what I'm not gonna do? I'm not gonna check my email 100 times a day. I'm not gonna look at these moles. I'm gonna be willing to sit with the uncomfortable feeling and use responses if I just really do not care. I will count on my body and my brain to take care of the problems if there's a problem. And people say, but I don't want a problem. Yeah, man, I get it. But you also wanna live life. I wanna take you there too. Step-by-step guide on how to do exposures with worksheets and videos. I have this all in my Master Your OCD course. It's awesome. I'm gonna link that down in the description. Also, let me know in the comments, what have you done in your life to face your fears? Is there anything that you feel like has been too hard for you? Let's support each other. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.